Hello, so on my channel Udzial, which is a Polish word which means share, we have discussed GitHub Copilot. Right now only these three topics are left, where we'll see that what admin can do, because there are many questions which come in exam from this. Also, we understood many of the capabilities of GHCP, like it can give code fix, it can generate documentation, right? It can optimize your code, it can make it more security wise better, right? But what are the other capabilities which are not the direct capability, but using these capabilities you can do something? So all those we'll discuss. Let's get started. So on the channel we have total 8 videos so far. You can go through all of this, and the most important is the one, I think this one. It is having all the capabilities that GHCP has to offer, but other also are good and talks about various perspective that we should know about GHCP, right? So let's see that what is the topic for today. So what are some good practices that are there? So the first one is you always have to verify it, right? So if we say that we'll put everything on AI and AI will code and all, right? So if there is no person to verify, it can do certain mistakes, right? So if your prompts are wrong, right, or by mistake, even if it is right, it can assume stuff, right? So for example, many a times it generates code in Python if you ask ChatGPT, right? Unless you specify C# or Java, or there is a previous thing which is mentioned, right, it will not generate. So verification is always important, because they always say that AI is not always right, correct? So for that, verification is always needed. Second thing is context is very important, just like I told you that it generates by default in Python, right? So I showed in my previous video, where in one test where I was opening Chrome, right, google.com in Chrome, and I wrote that some print statements, right, and they were not very good as per the standard. So what it did is I asked to generate another test that to maybe run in Firefox or Edge, right? So it copy pasted the same thing, right? So it is important that the context that you are giving, it should be in a right form. Otherwise, from crap you will generate another crap, right? And what it is best suited for, right? So you should give natural language, right? So instead of, let's say I write a function name, it better generates the prompt, right? So you should be good in prompting. It should be clear and accurate. So I'll create a separate video on just on this. There is already ready prompt engineering, right? So but your prompt should be good, right? Generating code. So and don't try to generate it in first. Don't think that, oh, in my one prompt I'll get all of things, right? Make a step-by-step process, right? In the previous video also we saw that, okay, I wrote a function which was not existing, right? I thought that, okay, let me divide this function into two, correct? So I just gave the name of that function. I think the name was odd even. It was not written, it was part of a function. Then I brought my cursor, and GHCP, GitHub Copilot, all has written that code, right? So you can do the things in iteration, right? Just don't think that I'll do it in one go. Right, now your prompt is divided into two parts, intent and context. Intent is what you want to achieve, right? Let's say I want to refactor my code to make it readable and more optimized, right? And what are the things that I'm giving to it, right? So GitHub Copilot take context mainly from the files that are open, right? So let me show you. So this is my GitHub Copilot, right? I'll click on this new chat. So if you see, current file is git ignored. So it is considering that file. So here file is written. Also, as we saw in the previous video, we have these strong things, right? That we can mention a file and it will give me all the file options that are there. If I mention here, if I mention folder, it will give me the folder, right? So if I say folder GitHub and then I'll write my prompt, it will act as a context to it, right? So context is very important, right? Apart from that, we can give persona, right? That I am a senior developer, right? And I want to review the code so that it is readable, efficient, right? So if you give these things, it will do it in a better way, right? Also, always start a new conversation if the topic is changed, right? Let's say you were asking about weights in your program. Now you are asking about reporting, right? So these two things are not linked, right? They are doing different purpose. So in those cases, you can change the topic. Now other thing is you can change the AI model. This we have seen multiple times, right? On the right drop down you can change it. So why you will change it? Because sometimes maybe let's say you are not getting good answers with the let's say 3.5, you can go to GPT 4.0, right? Or in the market, let's say there is a new model coming which is very good for coding or for a particular programming language or for the domain that you are working in, right? For code. So then you can select those models, right? So they also play an important role, right? So to make the best use of it, you should know all these things, right? And also we can customize the responses, right? In the last video we saw that, okay, I need a coding tip each time. Then you can create a file under this folder, name as this, whatever you write in it. Then what will happen is whatever prompt you will write, it will add whatever is written in this file, right? So then it will give you a response as per your customization. So if I open this was my file, right, where I wrote that this project is about Selenium test ng, right, what it is for, and I want to know a joke about testing, right? So whatever if I'll write, it will add these things and I'll get additional things from it, right? So these are the good practices that are there. Now understand some use cases which can help you. So what it can do is it can help you in learning a new programming language, right? So people fear a lot, like most people have worked in Java and they tell that, oh, it's how much time it will take to move to C# and Python, right? These are just languages and they are very simple. Then like it's not like, oh, if you know English and you have to learn Spanish, right? These are not that separate, right? They are just syntax change a little bit, but main things remain the same, right? You can learn in 10-15 days, right? The main concepts, right? Rest all things would remain same. And I have seen a LinkedIn post also where using Cursor, that is also an IDE, right? They also provide like AI services. A person converted their framework from one language to another, let's say Java to Python, right, within 1 or 2 hours, and he has shared the prompt as well. I think Amit has done that, right? So here is the thing that we studied in the previous good practices, right? So first prompt that you are asking GitHub Copilot is, I want to migrate this project, give me a high level overview, right? So I'm not asking it to do it immediately, right? Firstly, you should understand it, what all things need to be done, because it can get stuck in between, then you will leave it, right? So if let's say I want to convert my project, I'll do that, not in this video, right? Let's say this is a Java project and I want to convert it into Python, then I can give here @workspace, right? Because I'm referring to this whole project which is having all this in Java. So if I want to convert it into Python, I should give a prompt and try to understand it. What are the steps, right? What are the frameworks that would be used, so that I can take a good decision, because there could be many frameworks as well, right? In C# we have MS Test, we have NUnit, we have XUnit, right? So I should make those decisions and then start converting it, right? And what else it can do is you can automate boring stuff, right? What is boilerplate code? Let's say you want to connect Selenium with, right, read some Excel and all in your Selenium automation framework, right? So this code can be easily written by GitHub Copilot. You want any data creation, you want some fake email IDs, countries, names, right? All of that it can generate in seconds. You can forward like this / and test, it will generate test also, right? Refactoring can be easily done, right? And as I told you earlier, that it gives you a personalized code, right? So if you have written certain print statement or certain style you have followed while creating, it will try to follow the same patterns, right? It can help you in debugging. In last video we fixed, like there was an import missing, right? And also it suggested us that, okay, the code cannot be compiled, and it even created a test base class for us, which was not there, right? It provides data science support, and if there is any old code, we can modernize it as well, right? So that is also a good advantage. Let's say some code was written 20 years ago and it can be optimized, right? Or we can say modernized, so we can do that as well. Now coming to the last part, most of this feature you won't see, because either you would be using a free account, right, like I'm using it. Even in your company, if you have an enterprise account, these facilities will not directly be visible to you, right? Because you might not be the admin, right? So they can create a policy, right? Let's say if they want to enable internet or not, right? Let's say these models have access to internet, so they can create a policy and then they can apply to the people, right? And admin can only give access to people, right? Let's say there are 100 people in a company and if you just want to give 10, that those people, so that admin can add these people and then that policy will get applied to the people who got added, right? They can also check the usage data. For that there is a REST API as well, right? So we can see that how people are using it, right? Or let's say only 10 out of 10 only 2 people are using it, so those kind of metrics can be used. So that's why they came up with some figure, right, that some companies are using it and they have increased the productivity by 65% or so, right? There was a number, if you just read the documentation you will find it out, right? Even we have audit logs, right? So that in case there is any security breach and also we can look at those, right? They can also exclude files, right? So if certain files we don't want that they should go as a context to Copilot, we can set that at repo level as well as organization level, right? So we can set certain files that, okay, Excel files which have these names, or maybe some resources file, or maybe some Java files, or maybe some places where you keep your company's upcoming things and all, right? So all those things can be controlled by admin and they can be REST as well. Sometimes a question comes that how the like how you can purchase it. So there is a word that they use, it is called as seats, right? So if 100 people in your company are buying it, it would be 100, and there is a fixed cycle, right, from where you start. Let's say you start from 20th to 19, like a month. If somebody joins in between, they will be prorated. If you remove all the licenses, then automatically your GitHub Copilot subscription will get cancelled, right? So all these things are important just from exam perspective. Otherwise also you should know about this policy and exclude file. These are the major things. So hope you like it and understood something. Though I have finished this GitHub Copilot, the major things, right? But I'll keep adding, like I got some interesting use cases, right, which I'm using in my daily life and they have really helped me, right? So we'll see those use cases in this series. I'll try to add. So thank you for watching. Hope you like it, and do comment and like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.